little bit of a topic for you, just to move it away from the FA Cup briefly. Who's had the better season, Manchester United or Arsenal? I've heard this a few times over recent weeks. My theory is Arsenal. That might be me being very negative after United not turning up in a game I needed them to turn up in. But look, I think Manchester United's season's been built on a really strong defence and some incredible coaching by Ten Hag. But I know we've won the Carabao Cup, and I know we've come third and we've qualified for the Champions League, and I know trophies are probably going to be the differential in this debate, but Arsenal have played better football, and that for me is the disappointment today. I just don't think we could lay a glove on Manchester City. And when, honestly, a fan said to me when we played Brighton in the semi-final, I think it might be better if Brighton beat us because they'll give City a tougher game. And I was like, no, it's got to be Manchester United. We've got to win this. We're Manchester United. Watching it today, I completely get what the point was. I think Brighton would have given them a better game. I think as an attacking outfit, we've been very lackluster for a long time. And it's credit to Ten Hag since Christmas that he's got us into this groove where we can grind out results. But I think Arsenal have had the better season. I think they've played the better football. I think to come second in the league and get over 80 points is incredible from where they've come. I think United have had an incredible season, but that's today, I think, was an eye-opener just how far Manchester United are away. We've got a Manchester City fan. Great. Scott, Manchester City fan, you must be over the moon. Tell me what your thoughts are.
Oh, yeah, mate, I'm delighted with it, to be honest with you. Over the moon. Didn't get to go because I'm getting married, so I had to put it on hold. Same with Istanbul, but yeah, I watched it at home with the kids. Great game. I just think that have United over here with the team they've got? Or,
I was going to ask you that. I mean, just your thoughts on the game as a City fan. How, because as United fans, we look at that game and I think with half an hour to go, I couldn't see a way back. Was there any point in that game where you felt like United were a threat? Was it you watch City a lot? Was it quite comfortable?
I'm a season ticket holder, so when Garnacho come on, I think he opened the game up for you a bit, but they weren't getting the ball to him enough, and that was the turning point of the game. Really, like they had a few good 10-minute spells, didn't they, where they were going ahead and getting on the ball, getting the ball forward. He had that great chance that just went wide, and but like I said, I think they overachieved this year because Brighton were the better side for 120 minutes. If Newcastle didn't lose Nick Pope in that Premier League game, was it, that he got a red card, so he missed the final, would you have gone on to win that with the quality of goalkeeping he's been this year?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. I think you're right. I think you're right, Scott. I think I was just saying. Well, let me ask you. If I said to you, who do you think's had the better season, United or Arsenal? As a City fan, having competed against both, who do you think's had the better season?
Well, Arsenal, you don't get nothing for coming second, do you? You get a Champions League spot, which they lived off for years. Well, we've got a Champions League spot, 14 years or something, qualifying for it. But you've got a trophy at the end of the day. So United have had the better season.
There we go. Scott, thanks for calling in. Man City fan, congratulations. Comfortable in the end. Let's take another call. We've got Steve, who's a Man United fan. What do you want to say, Steve?
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Good, thanks. You?
I'm very good, thank you. It was just disappointing. I think the biggest thing I took from the game was the hole out on the left-hand side, like even on the right-hand side, the miss of Anthony today. I think you can forgive losing a game, and I think when you play at top-level sport, it's important to realise you are going to win some and you're going to lose some. But the one thing you can't forgive is the lack of fight and the lack of effort. And watching Jadon Sancho week in, week out, pulling his foot out of challenges, not wanting to sprint after the ball. And I think back to Sevilla away, which I was at, and watching him not tracking his fullback from his own half, and it's just too much like deja vu for me today. And when you play at the top level against teams like City, you're going to be punished. And I think when Garnacho come on, it just highlights even more. 2 minutes on, he beat his stats with only 2 minutes on the pitch, and it's just unfortunate it takes an 18-year-old to show up a 350 grand a week winger who's apparently one of the best in the world. It's just disappointing. It really is.
You're absolutely spot on, Steve. I want to come back to you on that one. I asked the previous caller about Sancho. He obviously had his issues where he missed 3 months of the season. He came back, and I think over the last 2 months, because of injury and Ten Hag giving him chances, he's actually had loads of chances. There's been a couple of goals, there's been a couple of glimpses, but you're right. There's an 18-year-old in Garnacho who's lit up an FA Cup final when Sancho's done nothing. We know Ahmad's coming back. We know Anthony will be back. We think Rashford's better off the left. What's the future for Sancho? And what do you think Ten Hag's going to do with him, more importantly? Because you could say sell him, I could say keep him, but what's Ten Hag going to do with him? Because it's staring him in the face that he's not really good enough at the moment.
I think people need to realise that the setup today, you go toe to toe with Manchester City, you end up losing 6-3. You play like the way we did today, you can scrape a result and win a game 2-1. You could see the contrast in styles when we played at the Etihad and at Old Trafford in February. Today, he got the setup right. Unfortunately, the squad depth has been highlighted again. You have to turn to an 18-year-old young man to come off the bench who takes on his man one-on-one, and then all of a sudden you only see Weghorst, you only see Pellistri, you only see Maguire. For me today, if you have Martinez, who I thought we missed in terms of his cutting through balls into the midfield, and I even saw Casemiro quite a few times having a go at De Gea for not playing the ball short because he wanted to take responsibility. But it's highlighting the squad depth again today. And I know it's probably same old story, but when I see the Glazer family smiling at the performance and smiling at what they're seeing, and I'm just thinking to myself, this is all down to you, to the fact that you're not actually helping your manager. And I think Ten Hag, and this was going to be the last thing I say, I think Ten Hag especially deserves credit. And I think the City fan, who was just on the phone talking about all the cup finals and all the games that we scraped and got lucky in, he needs to remember that we played 3 times a week since September. And that's why we've had the better season than Arsenal, because a lot of teams would have capitulated with all the injuries, with all the games. I think he deserves a medal. And you know what? Even though we lost today, the future is bright. And I'm positive knowing that our club's in good hands.